Chapter 3, Torneko and the Extravagant Excavation. Guess he's holding the abacus there. Far to the north of Endor, tucked away in the Emerald Hills, lies the small town of Lakanaba. A small town that is nevertheless home to a rather large man by the name of Torneko Taloon. And although he's but a menial employee for now, he has a grand dream of becoming the greatest honest merchant in all the world. Hey, a leather hat. So here we are, we have one of my favorite characters in the game, Torneko Taloon. This lovable big man was so good he managed to get his own spin-off series. We're starting off at level 1 again. We have not great strength, okay agility. And for some reason he's very wise. Go ahead and put that hat on. And he has a special ability that the others didn't have. Appraise. Gets a little thing to say about things. It's a hearty looking meal altogether, so it is. Aye, there's none make a lunch like my Tess. You eat that and it'll give you plenty of strength. You can't be thinking of selling it, surely, though? I mean, myself went to all that trouble. Fetch about 7 gold, so it tells you about things. And it tells you how much you can sell it for, and who can equip it if it's equipment. Good for nothing bog trotter. Well. Yep, that's it. I have a gold, a 4-leaf clover. So Torneko, he's a merchant. He wants to make lots and lots of the money. And make the money we shall. We're gonna make so much money. By doing things like, well, nothing here we need. By doing things like selling our wife's packed lunch she made for us. By doing things like helping out the neighbors. Hey, Finn. Barely walk. Push him over to church. Yeah, sure, we can do that. Torneko could use the exercise. This is in the NES version, too. And this is actually pretty neat in that it gives you an ahead of time to a mechanic we'll see later. And we get 11 bucks for it. Oh, he misses his son. And here we have an armor shop. They sell some stuff here. We're not gonna need too much of that. Hey, how's it going? Ugh. Yeah, to be fair, we can't really do much in this small town. And hey, a leather shield. Go ahead and put that on. We've got most of the basic equipment already. And we'll come back here at night at some point. Oh, it's just you. Gone in the head welcoming some kind of stranger like you. Scariest true stories ever. One dark night, a peddler found himself lost in the woods. He came across a village he'd never seen before. People were exceptionally friendly, although he's a perfect stranger to them. They invited him to stay. With great relief, the peddler accepted their hospitality. He spent the night there in the village. Then morning came, and the peddler awoke to find nothing but wasteland. The village had disappeared without a trace. Ooh. No. Stops monsters from stealing your gold. We could go up there and get that, but not yet. Be late for your own funeral. We all know someone like that. And this is our boss. He doesn't have a name, he's just our boss. He says he pays us on commission. That's not true. Well, technically. When we reach a certain amount of sales for the day, then we get paid. Yeah, it's a weapon shop. Yeah, look at the wares. So this is what we sell here. We have a club, a sword, and a dagger. Just like a regular shop, you stand here, you wait for someone to show up. People are very polite around here. The sign on the wall, you know, the weapons around me. They always ask, is this a shop? Is this a weapon shop? What if I say no? No. Oh, okay, I guess we lose the possibility of a sale. Well, that's not good. Yeah, it's a weapon shop. You are looking to sell a weapon? Yes. The copper sword. Yeah, I'll take that. Now, that does not decrease from things that from our commission total for the day. If someone chose to sell something, for the most part, 99% of the time, it's just going to waste our time. Look at the wares? No. No. Okay, fine. They're not in the mood to joke. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You might think to yourself, oh man, how much could we possibly make doing this? Well, not a lot, actually. It's a weapon shop. And you want to sell the weapon? A hunter's bow. Whoa, we don't even sell those. But you want to buy it, yeah. You want to give that to me? That sounds great. Now, one thing you might notice here is that now the hunter's bow is on the list. However, if we wanted to buy that for ourselves, we could do that. We just have to come back when the boss is running the shop, which is when we are not. But if we were to sell it to someone, if we were to sell the hunter's bow to someone, it would then disappear and it'd be gone from the shop's inventory. We only have the one. We only have copies of the things that we keep in stock. So what I want to do from this is I want to keep doing the shop here until a certain weapon is sold to us. I've had this take 2 to 4 days of selling before. I also had when I played this on the DS. I did one run through on the DS before this. I've done many run-throughs on the bag full. Your bag's infinite. That doesn't make sense in this version. On the one playthrough I did on the DS, it took 12 days. He wants the hunter's bow. That's fine. I'm not interested in the hunter's bow. And there's no reason. If you say no, they'll either get upset. They'll either get upset or you'll haggle with them. Either price up, price down, like 10%. It's not worth it. Just say yes. Try to speed this along until the thing we want gets sold to us. Alright, so when we sold enough, he'll give us his version of commission, which is usually between 90 and 110 gold pieces. It'll make it nighttime. And we head back to our lovely wife, Tess. Tessa. She can wake up and do it again. So going to work is, right? And every morning she'll give us a new packed lunch. It's not worth the 7 gold to go sell it, so... If I talk to him on the other side of the counter, then I could shop here. You might notice I don't have a weapon, but I'm not going to worry about it. Now, if I were to go downstairs, I'll see that there is a jail cell door here that I want to come back to. So let's jot that down in the running list. Lakanaba has a jail door. And if you wanted to finish early and make your money, like get 40, 50, 60 gold because you're done for the day, you want to go do stuff, or you just don't want it to be nighttime when you leave, you could talk to him and he'll pay you out for the rest of the day. For sword. And this is about as exciting as it looks like, really. But it's nice. Somehow, this guy doing this managed to get his own spin-off series, which is neat. Good on this guy. We'll see how long this takes here. Hopefully less than 12 days. I will eventually want to buy a weapon from our shop. But nothing so fancy as the hunter's whip. Hunter's bow, sorry. The boomerang in the NES version. This is what working in a shop really is, right? Standing here, you wait. Spoken Club. And if you say no, they'll just take more time. But it is totally worth it what we're waiting on. You might think, it's not worth it. It is totally worth it. But keep in mind, once you get it in stock, you do not sell it. Because it will then be gone, and then you won't be able to buy it. Now, you can buy as many of these as you want. Somehow, it only sells out the final one if you do it. So it's interesting the way it works, but it works out in your favor. I'll take it. You sell it to me even if I can't use it? Yeah. I don't care what you do with it. Have fun. A rare oaken club. A lot of oaken clubs coming our way. Now there is a turbo function on this, but not on the original, so nah. Don't need any of that. Ah, you want one of these rare oaken clubs. Enjoy. Enjoy your copper sword. Well, and enjoy your divine dagger. So I still have my copy of the original Dragon Warrior 4 for the NES. Fortunately, I no longer have a working NES. I mean, sure, it works just fine. I don't have the cable for it to hook it up to the TV. You know, that part of the TV that goes... The cable wire went into one side. One end went into the back of the NES. The other one went into the outlet. Oh, went out. One went to the back of the TV. Now, if you can't stock up on pack lunches if you didn't eat yours from that day. You'll technically replace it, but it'd be exactly the same. It's a nice touch to detail that they did. That they were able to pull this sophistication off on the NES. It's really great. Immediately, someone walks in. Nice. Day 3. This time we'll do this angle. I believe this is the angle you get in the NES version. Now the AI for your allies, not great in the NES version. So the best characters to use was always Ragnar and Alina, because they only had a choice of hitting the enemy. They couldn't be like Kirill and cast spells that don't work over and over, or have great spells they never use, like Snooze and Dazzle. But here, the AI on the DS is pretty good, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing. A chain sickle. Now, a chain sickle costs $550. It's a pretty good weapon. Now, it's not what we were looking for, but it's a pretty good weapon. Usually when you do that, when you get one of these that's really good, someone immediately buys it. So when we get ours, I'm going to just end the day at that point. I've seen people say, I've talked to people that said that they managed to get it, what I'm looking for, by starting like day 3. I've never seen that happen. Not in any version. Day 3 or 4 is the usually earliest. Now, we're going to pay a lot more attention here. Now, if someone were to buy the chain sickle, that would make the day go by faster. But at this point, we're not trying to shoot the day ahead. We'll go by slightly faster as we hit the sell total. I want to get the thing I'm looking for before we can move on with the game. Depending on how many days this goes, is whether or not I'll buy the club or the sword. I can already afford the sword, so I probably will just buy the sword. Enjoy your chain sickle. Sat on the shelf for all of like an hour. Yes, it's a club. Oh boy. This is not what I'm looking for. Oh, not day 3. Yeah, like I said before, it was day 12 when it finally kicked in. It finally happened on my other DS playthrough. So if I missed something that's DS exclusive, my apologies. But this would work fine. This playthrough would work fine for anyone who really wants a really good game. And we'll go, yeah, flip it around this way. Oh. Camera. They'll interrupt the camera, don't worry. Good choice, sir. The sword will take you places. This one's taking a bit. Okay. Hello. Yes. Oaken Club. Wow. Like, what it would take to program this be quite expansive. A lot of random numbers. A lot of variables involved. I don't know why, but as a kid, I always enjoyed just the shop part of this. And then, in my teenage years, I worked in a shop kind of like this. And it was no longer fun. Like working in a weapon shop, like pawn shop kind of deal. But not only is what we're waiting for worth it, it is the key to our entire operation. Yes, this is what we're waiting for. Wow, day 4. That is so fast. Absolutely, we will buy the Cautery Sword. If you remember that from Ragnar's scenario, that is the amazing, powerful sword. Now, it costs a lot of money. We sold it for $2,500. We had to buy it for like $3,000, but we're not going to worry about that for now. For now, we got it in stock. That's all it took. I can't believe we got that on day 4. So now I'm going to buy myself a copper sword. Now to shop here as a customer, stand here, get some gruff from the boss. Then he just starts over his speech. And there it is. It'll be there until you sell it to someone. You can also equip it, but so now we're ready to begin the chapter, half an hour in. We have everything we need to make absurd amounts of money. And I'm going to be quiet for a moment so you can listen to his great background music. Interrupted by mischievous moles. Now, between the gear we got just scattered throughout town, our copper sword, and our packed lunch, we could be able to get up to level 2 or 3. And then we're going to start wandering around. We're going to go exploring. Let's just pause here to listen to some music. While I like the musical renditions on the NES a little more than the DS, it's still really good music. Now we still get, even if we're not shopping, our wife doesn't know that we're skipping work right now. But when we come home, we'll get the free heal and the free lunch. Yeah, here is where we'll call it a night. Get ourselves a new pack lunch. Now, while the Divine Dagger had 2 extra damage points, it's not worth it. Like, I think this is my favorite of the map music of the game. For the chapters. Alright. Big health increase, and we got agility. And now one thing you'll notice through this chapter that's a lot different than the entire rest of the game is that there's a good chance of enemies dropping equipment. It just happened to drop right there. Much better armor. So we're going to be able to stay outside for a lot longer now. So it's going to be very advantageous and very luck driven. Well, not like the stat luck, but like random number driven. As we've noticed already from the shop, what kind of things drop for us? And any enemy could drop like any range of equipment. I got lucky that it was a leather armor there. Yeah, with that leather armor. Oh, hey, and there's a suit of chainmail. Just to guarantee that they won't lay a hand on us now. Oh, in that case. Oh no, stay off the flowers. I'm gonna sell the plain clothes. I'm not gonna sell the leather armor. I have a reason for not selling the leather armor here, but more importantly, we now have more than what we need. I was gonna wait till level 3 or 4 to move on, but we don't need to now. We have a medical herb and we have our lunch. Now, up north was the iron safe they mentioned. We actually don't want to go there. And if you're playing the NES version, I would recommend not going there 100%. The iron safe they talked about does what it says. It makes sure that if you die, an iron armor. Jeez. I don't think we can equip that. No, but that's really good armor there. The iron safe, if you die, you won't lose your gold. It won't be split in half. However, in the NES version where you don't have a bag and everything is very... And space is the highest commodity, then you want to make sure that you don't fall into a trap of getting a special key item like the iron safe that you can't get rid of. I'm gonna pick up some new medical herbs and 10 gold for a steel broadsword. Sounds too good to be true. And it might be. And in that jar, we got a medical herb and... Wait a minute. All those medical herbs were actually just horse manure. Got him. For the lava, what are you at? Sticking that in my face. This is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Get up the yaw with it. So yeah, that's what you get if you buy... Now the steel broadswords, those are just the cypress sticks, the useless sticks. I just wanted to show that off. Here we find a pair of boxer shorts. Boxer shorts, it is armor. It's better than the clothes. It's worse than the leather armor. Let's have them take a look at it. Well, if you really want to know, they're made of a fine, very fine bit of fabric. They breathe nicely. You don't want to get too hot down there now, yeah? That's not bad to grab that. And sniff your way out of it. You're lost. If you were to head right along the road instead of heading north, then it would just loop around. You wouldn't be able to get out of here. So you talk to this guy. That's weird. Huh. Hey, level 3. And in this version of the game, Taloon learns some spells. Padfoot. Not quite sure what that is. Not quite holy water for free. I guess it just lowers the encounter rate a bit. I guess it could be useful if you're hurting or you're just trying to get somewhere. No, that wasn't the, And also, randomly, you can run into an item shop here in Chapter 3. I actually do want to buy those medical herbs now. Instead of the deuces I picked up. And here we are in Ballymoral. And there's still my pen. Alright. Now, I'm writing these down mainly for the fact that the names have all changed for some reason from the NES to the DS, and I only know the NES names. Just need a dog with us. Well, to keep that in mind if we ever come across any foxes trying to trick us. So they're all out of armor here in this town. Anything down the well? No. So there's someone from Lakanaba locked up. In the prison. We're gonna have to make sure we get down there without getting caught. That wouldn't hurt to have one of these, so just pick that up for no particular reason. Cha-ching! And it's another weapon shop that sells better things than our place, but nothing compared to the sword we had down there. Here we have Entrance Way, and you can save here. Yeah, if you didn't notice before, down below, the bridge is out, and Archie Otek. Yeah, the puns don't let up in this game. Archie Otek. The bridge is banjaxed. Now, the reason I didn't want to sell that armor is because they're so desperate for armor. They'll buy it for me for much more than it's worth. So if I really wanted to, I could get armor from Lakanaba and sell it for more than I bought it for here, for a bit of a profit. And every time you talk to him, if you say no, and then talk to him again, it'll slightly randomize. Behind the weapon shop at nightfall. So you could get a bit more out of it if you really want to. I'm not gonna do that, but as long as it's more than what it would have sold for elsewhere, then yeah, I'll sell all my armor to this guy. I will fund their war effort. Remember the guy outside said, you gotta get to them without being caught. The guy we're trying to talk to is right here. Old man Finn's son. Finn again. Finn again. Finn again. Yeah. And the one spot in the game where using a Chimera Wing indoors doesn't bump your head on the ceiling. Maybe there's a hole in the roof, but he can zip out of here. Now if you get caught, they don't get upset, they just kick you out. The reason I wanted to write down Bali Marks is there are jail cell doors I want to open later. Much later in the game. Alright, so we have to come back here at night now. We're in pretty good shape, yeah. We walk to Lakanaba and back, it should be morning, or should be nighttime. He took our only Chimera Wing, so now, no matter how weak the enemy is, it's still worth fighting because they could drop something pretty good, like the iron armor we just got 1,000 gold for. Oh, there's a Chimera Wing. How about that? Well, we will need a bunch of those at some point. Chimera Wings are how we're going to make a ton of money. Part of the piece. Piece of the puzzle. Now, if we return here to talk to Finn again... Howdy, Finnegan. It's me again, Finn's son, Finn again. I'm gonna borrow his dog, Fido. Really good at catching foxes. Why they keep their dog locked? The dog is so fierce he must be kept locked up on a jail cell door. Hey, an item shop. We don't need you. We're doing good. We want to take this dog and... Well, while it's nighttime, we'll head here first. The princess vanished. Well, we said we'd meet him here behind the weapon shop at night. As soon as the bridge is fixed, give this letter to the princess. Alright, we'll keep that in mind. If the bridge ever gets fixed. What if we never find Archie Otek? Now we got a score to settle with these foxes. They foxed us. Now the dog is not a party member, he doesn't attack. He's here for this purpose. Sold us poo. Let's get him. If you look on the upper screen there, you see where the dog is headed. Good dog. And for whatever reason, a dog makes him lose his powers. Sure, I'll be merciful. Taloon's a nice guy, and as a reward, we get a full plate armor that we can't wear, but we could sell for a lot of cash. I want to get at least 2,500 for that. Oh hey, Archeotech. Yep, off he goes. Actually, we're heading that way too. You don't have to return the dog right away. In fact, you could finish the chapter with the dog, but it would lock you out of recruiting a party member. If you come here, if you try to recruit him with the dog allergy or doesn't like dogs or something. And I want that party member, so I'm going to return the dog at some point. First, I'm going to sell that full plate armor. Yeah, I wanted at least 25. There's 2,600. Alright, now, you might notice I want to return the dog, but first... The bridge is still out. I wonder what the trigger for that is. I want to use that Chimera wing that we happened to find to bring me back to Lakanaba. Oh, now they're good to invade Endor. Be careful, the monsters out there are tough. They gave me a problem in the last chapter. But now that I can afford it, I want to buy the Cautery Sword. Unlike the full plate armor, Taloon can equip the Cautery Sword. Welcome to the weapon shop. I will take... And like I said before, buying it yourself does not take it off the shelf. It'll still be there. I can buy as many as I want. And I will. I will buy as many as I want. Guess I could have sold the copper sword, but let's turn the dog back in. Thanks, Dave. Good to hear it. So now we're going to cut through anything in this scenario. The rest of the chapter, another item shop for monsters. So now after talking to the king, the bridge is fixed. We can now walk to Endor. Now the enemies are not the same as before. I guess that the thought process is all the tough people were here for the tournament. And that severely weakened all the surrounding enemies to be able to... so that we could walk through here. They're not as tough as they were before. Nowhere near. Would like a little bit more money before heading into Endor. And a solo heal slime. Could have been a problem if we only had our copper sword. He could keep us in a loop for a bit, probably till he ran out of mana. With the Cautery Sword, it's not a problem. And here we have a Stump Chump. The Stump Chump can use a medical herb on himself, if we kept him alive long enough for it. And he dropped a medical herb. Okay. Well, not a piece of armor, but... that's fine. Here we are back in Endor. It's the same Endor we were in before, with a couple of exceptions, such as Ragnar's here. He made it from the warp point to the Endor Casino. And it's closed. They're not going to open up the casino for a long time. Everyone pretty much says the similar things. Anyone who was talking about the tournament says something different, but... What I do want to do is I want to eventually purchase an iron apron for Taloon, but I do want to buy the iron shield for now. And I want to sell the old copper sword. And I'll wait to sell the leather shield until I head back to Valley Morale. Do I have enough for the head? Yes, good. Now, in the NES version, I would recommend not bothering with the headgear. And I'll wait till I get back to Valley Morale to sell the hat. Nor is it worth it to buy the abacus. I could sell him, I could hire this guy for a bodyguard, but I don't have the cash for it. I will want to do that. He's the one that is afraid of dogs. I'm super powerful with the sword, but having a bodyguard wouldn't be a terrible thing. And here it tells you, instead of just reading it yourself, it makes you, hey, go collect it yourself. Do it now. Well, beloved Ronnie, still didn't mention anything about our fair to die. And I'm just after finding out that he plans to invade your dear land of Endor. I had to do something before that happened. Please inform your father before it's too late. Poor father at once. Yeah, I'm right here. I heard you. King Seamus. You know, in Ireland. And we get another scroll. It takes away the prince's letter, gives us the royal scroll. Yeah, it's pretty sorry when soldiers are wearing something so terrible. Alright, so we're going to head back to Valley Morale in a moment. Instead, talk to these guys again. Not him. Not her. I want to talk to him. Silver Goddess statue. We'll keep him in mind for later. We definitely want to walk back. Any opportunity to pick up an item drop is worth it. The encounter rate is not particularly high, I guess because Torneko is all alone. While we're here, we'll go ahead and sell the leather hat and leather shield. Now I could have made some more money and even picked up a, what is it? A chain sickle had I gone to the cave way up north. I'm going to save that for later. And if you were playing the NES version, I would 100% recommend that. We'll just go along with it and say that that's how it works. Sadly, we didn't make much money from that adventure. Maybe we'll get a cash reward. Alright, so we now have the permission to open a shop here. Wasn't there someone who was... Those two have something to say later. I just forget the trigger for them. But there was this guy over here. We'll go in the back door. He talked about wanting to sell his shop, right? I have 347 gold on me. Let's go ahead and buy it. 35,000 gold? Yeah, we have to come up with that kind of cash. So in order to come up with that kind of cash, we need to make some more money to hire a bodyguard to go look for that silver statue. Now, he used buff, but that won't stop the cautery sword. Nuts. Only a medical herb. Oh well. Now, if we were to head back to here... So Taloon is later known to be searching for the Zenithian sword. I guess that's how... That is his reasoning for wanting to find this legendary sword. Now, if you were to head back to Zamovska... No entry. No ticket. Maybe at night someone says something that, hey, there's something going on over there, and that's why. Always a couple ticks away from it being nightfall. Now, someone says somewhere. Maybe the innkeeper behind the counter says it. Either way. Now, we have all the levels we need for Taloon, we just need some money. We need some startup cash. And our startup cash will be just what we need to hire a couple of bodyguards. We almost have enough for the one. One good drop, and that's all we need. Now, they have a lot of resistance to fire spells, as you'd expect. And there's that move I was talking about before. If you... And a club. There's 22 gold. We learned that how much it sells for from working in a shop. Nuts. Alright, we're fine. If you don't hit him and kill him in one shot, then he'll split, so... Yes, iron armor. That's what we needed. Alright, that's enough money for what we need for. Go sell it here in Ballymoral. We can sell this for at least 950 here, I want to say. $1,100. I win. Okay, you win. Enjoy your armor. So then I'm just gonna go pick up a couple friends. I can let's go ahead and drop this club off of hands here. Don't need that. Now, if we were to head upstairs in the inn... Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. What if I said no? Will you tell me where it is? Okay. Right here, Laurel. A poet who knows some magics. 600 gold for 5 days. And they mean it, 5 days. You rest at an inn, there's a day. Stay outside past midnight, and there's a day. Unlike the dog, Laurel is an actual party member. But as you may see from the level question mark, experience question mark, Laurel is a guest character. I do not control or have access to Laurel during combat. I can force Laurel to cast. I always assumed Laurel was a girl in the NES version. And Hardy. 5 days for 400. So for 1,000, we get a couple of bodyguards that'll enable us to get the goddess statue, and then just kind of hang out for a while. And if we take a look at Hardy, Hardy's a bodyguard, wearing a lot better stuff than the soldiers in the castle do. Hardy has no spells. If we were to look at everyone overall, we see that we want to slide Laurel to the back, and we do that under miscellaneous and lineup. I actually want to put Hardy in the front just because he has so much more health than Torneko. And I have some money left over. I do want to pick up a few antidote herbs. Now, if you're playing the NES version, we'll get to that cave soon enough. This next place we're going to, do not pick up any of the treasures except for the Silver Goddess statue. You need that gold later. I'm going to pick it up now, because I want that starting capital. And I'm not going to have a problem with money later because of what I'm doing now. Whoa! Ah! It's very dangerous around here. Alright, new enemy, Killer Gila, and Elephas. Elephas, he's just tough, he's beefy. Killer Gila can... I believe he can poison you with a poison breath. Chimera Wing, all part of my master plan. Now he's trying to get those, treasure. We have to do a bit more to get that treasure. Now, Laurel's gonna burn through his MP, but that's fine. Even without MP, Laurel turns into a fine meat shield. The game here really expects you to have them, so the enemies are tuned accordingly. You don't absolutely need them. They have some resistance to Sizz, but it's still worth it to use it. To use the Kari sword, it's free. Press this button, and all the water will drain to the level down below where the guy was. Vampire Bat, I glossed over them before. They can put you to sleep. I think just with their physical attack, but you will still fall asleep, and a steel broadsword. That's great. That sells for a lot of gold. And it's going to. Another Chimera Wing. Awesome. Poke the skeleton out of respect. And we've seen the Platypunk before. You cast sap on you on a party member, draining your MP. No, not your MP. Your defense. Draining your MP would be really bad. No, he's not that tough. Here we find a Holy Lance. All the more reason to not get these at this point. If on the NES version, pick these up later. As in, later in the game, not with Taloon. Now, you could leave if you come up through this way. You want to go down again. And now we can reach these treasures we couldn't before. Free iron armor. Get that another 1,000 gold for that. And another steel broadsword. And both those treasure chests are empty because he's already looted them. The one we want is where you'd expect it to be. In the part with the fancy, symmetrical statues. Hey, we learned another spell and found another steel broadsword. Wow, our luck is fantastic right now. Alright, and you learned another new spell, Eye for Distance. If you're out on the world map, you could use that to find out where the closest town is. I never used it, but they added that to the DS version. I already know where all the towns are. And we find the Silver Goddess statue. Hey, Metal Slime! And this is what a Metal Slime usually does. Run away on the first battle and not give you 3 turns to kill it. But you could find them here if you really wanted to grind. You could just stay in here with your buddies forever. Well, for 5 days, and then you have to rehire them. But as you see, we've gotten more than the 1,000 gold we paid for them already. And that's not counting the loot. Alright, and we won't need them ever again. We're done doing combat in this. Right, and I said I did want to talk to this guy. You heard there's a port town to the east, so he's digging a tunnel. What's 60,000 gold? Well, I don't have that much gold. To end the chapter, we have to give him the gold. That is the goal. Oh, hey, still daytime. In which case, let's, now we're not going to sell our stuff. I do want to turn in the Silver Goddess statue. We'll sell 25,000 gold for that. So all we need is another 10,000 and we can buy the shop. So now I'm going to sell those steel broadswords they came across. And the other steel broadsword. I guess I'm not quite done with combat yet then, huh? Ended up being just shy of what I thought I'd be at. Alright, let's walk to Ballymoral. Sell the iron armor for at least 1,000. And then I'll only be 1,800 shy. I might just sell the cautery sword. Well, it's nighttime, so let's at least get the chance at our drop for some stuff. Definitely gonna sell Taloon's equipment. He doesn't need anything but except maybe the cautery sword. We'll sell the shield, the armor, the headgear. Oh hey, more chainmail to sell when the gates open back up. See, it's slowly getting lighter out. Really well done. Yeah, after we sell Taloon's pants, we should have enough for the shop. Then the real money making starts. Now, even though the war is not going to happen, they still want to stock back up on armor. So I want at least 400. No. Thank you. 420. Blaze it. $567. Even better. Thanks for making up for that first time. And I want at least 800. No, I want at least 800 for this. No. I'm greedy. I want at least... There we go. Thank you. And I at least want 150 for this. No? 150, not 115. Huh? I seem to have managed to kill... Because I killed his speech, I I went ahead and sold it. The game... It worried me there. Alright, I want 1,000 for this. There we go. Don't even have to sell the cautery sword. Beautiful. Now, before you do this next part, make sure you have the Sword of Malice on the NES version, the cautery sword, in your boss's shop up north. I think this next part cuts it off from you. Just to make sure you guys are properly motion sick. Hey, we have that 35,000 gold. All right. Well, we have a shop. Oh, yeah, we should go tell the king we got a shop. And what we can do is we bring her stuff to sell, and she'll sell it for an outrageous price that doesn't make sense. It's marked up from normal. So this is how we're gonna make our money. You saw that there. She's going to sell the cautery sword for 5,000 gold. Now you could go pick up if you didn't want to have the cautery sword, that's fine. You don't need the cautery sword. You could do this with steel broadswords that you can buy in Ballymoral. You could do this with the iron armor from the shop right over next door. You do have to give it to her one at a time. But it's totally worth it. And then when you wake up in the morning, she'll have all the rest of it. And today we're selling a cautery sword and a bunch of medicinal items. That didn't actually give us a rest. Interesting. I think as a kid I used, before I discovered the sword of doing this with the sword of malice, I did it with the abacus. Then I didn't equip it, I just sold it at the shop. And then sold it for more than you bought it for. Not sure how that works, but there you go. So he wants to place an order with us. He wants to re-equip the castle troops. Just some of them. 6 broadswords, 6 iron armor. We bring them to the gentleman downstairs. That's what I was thinking of. And for payment, they will give you a lot of money. Like practically enough to fund the old man's thing. That's the game's idea of giving you something to do while you make your cash. However, the way we are going to do it I'm going to get my free rest here. Give me my packed lunch, which I'm not going to have her sell. That's just mean. Talk to her on this side, and she'll give me the money from the other day. So that's 6,000 gold that I'm going to use to go get another cautery sword. But to get some, I can only buy one at a time right now. But for now, I am going to do it this way. Just to get it off the ground, I want the capital to get at least 2 cautery swords. Now the reason I want to do it with the cautery sword and not just a bunch of abacuses is because you have to give it to her one at a time, so I may as well make it each one worth it. And I've already sold all my gear, so I'm not going to be doing any more fighting. I'm going to Chimera Wing up to Lakanaba, buy it, buy more cautery swords, fly back here, give them to her, and then go to sleep. And I'm going to do this until I've essentially maxed out cash. Now, once you've given the money to the guy, once you've given the money to the guy in the cave, you will not be able to do this anymore. This will be blocked off for reasons. So she won't always get a chance to sell everything. There's a chance she won't sell it. Just don't worry about it. So I do want to stock up on Chimera Wings. Toss all of those in the bag. Now doing this on the NES it can be very frustrating because even if you were to max out the money going back and forth, the iron safe would be taking up a spot in your inventory. So make sure you don't get the iron safe. There's really no danger of you dying, and if you do, well, you don't. Take the hit of losing your cash and try it again. And 9 daggers to round it out. He is filled with knives. So this is what I'm going to be doing for quite a while. Next time we will continue on with Taloon. And maybe even we might take some of our ridiculous piles of cash and do something with it. just to show what this would look like. That with all full cautery source, which we'll get to very quickly, one at a time. And she sells it for 50% markup, which is only $100 on the daggers, but I mean, we had to throw it into something. So next time we will see. I want to actually this time I want to push it to see how far the gold total goes. We're gonna make 50, 60,000 a day, and that's just going to increase. Oh, we've killed it again. Stopped responding. Good night. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time with money.